from Luxembourg to score a goal in the UEFA Champions League. And what a goal! If Cristiano Ronaldo replaced Iker Casillas at the top of the all-time list for most UEFA Champions League appearances with 181, Lionel Messi is not letting him run alone, as he became just the fourth player to reach the landmark of 150 appearances. And while Robert Lewandowski reached the 80-goal mark quicker than any other player, it took him only 100 matches, Sébastien Haller scored 4 in his debut in the competition, just like an all-time legend, Marco van Basten, back in the inaugural season 92-93. And this was just the appetizer for him, as he ended up being the group stage top scorer with 10 goals, at least 1 per match. Nobody had ever been able to do so in their first UEFA Champions League season. Finally, please let me pay a special tribute to Mircea Lucescu, who extended his record as the oldest coach to take charge of a team in the UEFA Champions League. He was 76 years and 132 days on match day 6. Congratulations and respect, Mircea. I could go ahead for hours with the fantastic tales of the UEFA Champions League that it pours on us every year. But there is a more important thing to do today, of course, our draw for the round of 16. 8 countries are still represented, and this is great news, as it shows how competitive European football is and how many teams can make it to this stage, having perfectly exploited the chances an open and inclusive access gives them. A special mention in this respect to Salzburg, who have qualified for the knockout stages of the UEFA Champions League for the first time in their history. And in the process, they have carried the flag of Austria that far for the very first time in history. As this season's final is in St. Petersburg, I would now like to welcome a player who is a native of that city and arguably one of Russia's greatest players of the 21st century, who will assist with today's draw. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage with us our special guest for today's draw, Andrei Arshavin.
Thank you, Georgia. Good afternoon.
Hey, Andrei, great to see you again. We saw each other last week in Lisbon at the great UEFA Masters for International Players course, which you're doing. Let me ask you about this season's competition so far. Who's impressed you in the group stage in the UEFA Champions League?
Apart from favorite teams, I would say Ajax Amsterdam. If I'm correct, they did well. They won all games, especially their striker, who scored in all group stage matches.
Yeah, you've been following the competition closely, of course. It means, I imagine, a lot to you that the final is in St. Petersburg. As someone who was born and raised there and then played for Zenit and is a legend there, what can you say about the importance of St. Petersburg hosting this final and what football means for people there as well?
I can say that people love football there. Of course, it's a big event for our town. Everyone dreams to host such a big event.
Finally, one more question about your record in UEFA competitions, because you helped Russia get to the semi-finals of UEFA Euro